Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Cultivate wisdom. You don't need to accumulate knowledge to become wise. Anyone can become wise. When you become wise, you respect your body, you respect your mind, and you respect your soul. When you become wise, your life is controlled by your heart, not your head. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 89, NASDAQ up 68, S&P's up 18, gold contract flat at $1,644 an ounce. Silver down 8 cents at $30.66 an ounce. Platinum up 9 at $1,555. Copper up 3.5 pennies at $3.70 a pound. Light sweet crude up 54 cents, trading at $104.09 a barrel. Bonds down 13 ticks at $141.28. King dollar down 16 ticks, trading out at 79.16. That's backing down with dramatically lighter volume. Euro up 22 ticks at 132.19. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? You are at 1390. Your swing point out there, you have 1392, which was the swing of the 17th. We did 800 million and 810 million to be exact, going against 965. That's still setting a B to a C up of an ABC structure on the way down, folks. And it's actually a larger, well, the S&P is not a larger structure because the C point before is still 1392.76. Dow Industrials. We go over to the Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow. What you have in the Dow is this. Dow Industrials, same type of setup, meaning ABC structure on the way down. We did 810. Bottom line should be banging out at least 950, 975. NASDAQ Composite. Now, this is the one that's really surprising, and this is why. It's not surprising on the price point on the way up, but what you have is this. This is a much larger ABC down, and this is what it is. So the Composite today goes up 68 points. It's all about Apple. We'll get our heads wrapped around Apple. All about Apple, no doubt. The Composite, folks, coming out of the gate this morning, just as Apple coming out of the gate, just as the QQQ's coming out of the gate. Huge volume, first 2 hours. What do? Dies on the vine. Big time, too. NASDAQ up 68 points. You did 1.7 billion versus almost 2 billion. This is also, the C point on the NASDAQ, by the way, is 3058, in near 3029. NASDAQ had busted down, had juice, busted back up, nothing inside it. Now, let's go over to the we'll start with, actually, we want to start with Apple. Why? Because Apple drove the market. There's no two ways about that. Now, Apple up 49 bucks. Apple also should have had dramatically heavier volume. This is what Apple has done. Now, you had a high out here at Apple of 644. That first high generated April 10th. You did it with 31 million shares. You came downtown with 36 and 37. Today you went uptown with 32. Now, that price point right there is trying to test the C point on Apple, because what Apple had done, this was the first time it had ever done it also from $300. When it came off the high on April 10th, the first time it ever broke a swing point with volume was on the 16th and 17th of April. Then it bounces, it goes lower. The first price projection was 550. It gets to 555. You go higher again. The C point on this is 620.25. Would have been nice if it hit it today. That C point had 32 million. You can see what's going on. It went into it with 34 million, rather. It went in with 32 million. Bottom line, that's still setting up. Well, first off, it's more than like a consolidation now, but the bottom of that consolidation is the 350, 355 mark. Apple, once Apple gets back under 594, and where that 594 is coming from, folks, was the last time it had any volume. You get back into 594, it's going right down the other side again. So it's going to be wild watching how Apple shakes the whole market out. Now, let's go over to the SPY, the SPY. What does the SPY do? SPY has 141 million shares today. That's going against 235. That's going against 137. Bottom line, SPY needs a lot more volume in order to get up and over the C point, which is 139.36. We got to 139.25 today. Small caps. You go to the small caps. We take a look at the small caps. This is what we have inside the small caps. We use the IWM. So right now, small caps, once again, are the weakest indice. What the small caps did, the IWM got to 81.37. We got there with 47 million shares, and you're going against 100 million shares, and you're going against 65 million shares. Small caps basically just couldn't get any breathing room out here. That's the IWM. If we just go look at the Russell itself, the actual indice, what you have with the indice is this. It was up 14 points. We're at 812. The high in the Russell is 847. It was going against the downdraft, and all this is basically setting up another ABC structure on the way down. The NASDAQ composite. So when you look at the ABC structures on the way down, this is what you have. The Dow still has the same price projection. The S&P still has the same price projection, the same B points. The NASDAQ, however, has a larger price projection on the way down. The reason being is that the NASDAQ, not today, the two prior days, gapped lower. So originally you had the B point out there conservatively about 29.87. Now what you have a B point of 29.46. And your A point is all the way up there at 31.34. So it's a big number. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Let's go look at the dollar index. Dollar index out here today, DXM2. So the index out here, what is it doing? We did 20,000 contracts. You are coming into, we're down 17 ticks. We're coming into 28,000 contracts. That is from the day of strength going back to the April 3rd level. You know, I suspect that's going to get tagged tomorrow morning or intra and tonight. That's the way it's set up right now. We go to the gold market. We have a gold out here. Gold, it was up and down and all around today. We'll talk about the Bernanke deal. Now, what gold did do is this. Gold rejected lower price. Gold went down to 1625, closed at 1643, did volume of 157,000 contracts, which is dynamite, by the way. Okay, the reason it's dynamite is this: the last low in gold came in. This is the actual future contract. The last low in gold, folks, was on April 4th. We went down to 1613. We did contracts of 202,000. So what happened today is this. It backed down. It didn't get to that level, number one, which is bullish. Number two, it started with some volume. What this is actually doing is that it was pushing on the small swings, saying, okay, it wants to run up to the 1681. You know, we'll see whether it gets some juice. A few of the equities inside that sector did get juice. Now, let's go over to the bond market. What do we have with bonds? Bonds today, they come down 12 ticks. Rejected lower price with lighter volume. What we did is this. We did 324,000 contracts. This is on the 30-year bond. We got down to 140.103, rejected that level, was going into 392,000 contracts. That's saying that, you know what, bonds are still going to make this run up there to 144. Now, that being the case, you get a little divergence in here. And in particular, what the divergence is this, is that, okay, is the gold and silver equities ready to run again? It's going to, this is going to be, it's going to be close. Let's put it that way. It's going to be close. If we go over to AEM, we take a look at an Eagle. What we have is this. An Eagle, this is an equity that, you know, got croaked, $85 down to $30. What you had out here today, this is the second time, what you had is you had price, but it still wasn't enough volume. You know, you wanted, I would have liked to see much wider, volume. The price spread was fine. The volume I'd like to see a little bit wider. It's Tom O'Brien, this is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're coming back with Tom from Pittsburgh. We're going to be right back.